What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor Lawler. Welcome back to another week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and a little bit of weird news near the end of the episode. I am joined, as always, by my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Shaun, how's it going?
I've been better, Conor, I'm going to be honest.
Shaun is... his nose is running. He's a sneezy boy. He hates the summer. And he just, every year he just doesn't get built different, and he just continuously comes back weak.
I keep thinking I'll grow out of it, and I never don't. It's been years. I have hay fever real bad. Turns out I'm allergic to the outside. But what did I do today? I went outside. So here we are.
First mistake. Outside has idiots. Inside, idiots, but like confined space. I'm the
limited
idiot.
Number of idiots. Yeah.
They're locked in here with me is mostly the view to look at it with.
If you're the only idiot inside, you're the smartest man in the room. That's what I always say.
That's your chest tattoo.
Yeah, and my back tattoo. I fucked up the first one.
So look, if you are here for weird news, there will be a time link down below, and a timestamp I should say, and you can go straight there.
Sounds amazing. Some kind of portal to the past.
You can click on that, it'll take you straight to the weird news section of the show, because they are now joined together. So the first half of this show is movie news, second half is going to be some weird news. If this is your first episode, you don't have to do anything, don't worry about it. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, like whatever way you want to support the show would really help us out. If you want to be like absolutely great and a complete legend, you can go down to the Patreon, support us there. We have all these extra content and extra movie reviews over there for the price of basically one coffee a month.
And it helps us keep the show going, it helps us keep making it, and just makes things easier all round for everyone. You also get a shout out at the end of the show. And
Shaun, to be honest with you, needs the medical supply, like he needs the money for medical bills.
That's true, because I want to get metal legs is my next goal.
They're like, we have a cure for hay fever. You're like, I want to go get your arm, please.
Yeah, I want it to turn into like a cake mixer, that kind of deal.
Like you get the most like serious operation, but for something shit, like
something completely unnecessary. Like like it's a fob for a car I don't own. Like that's kind of the level I want.
I want a cake, or no, I want a popcorn maker on my foot.
That would be really convenient. Imagine you're in the cinema, put your feet up, load of popcorn falls out. Would you eat my foot popcorn, do you think?
I don't think you should eat anybody's foot popcorn. I think that's a strict rule that I always grew up with, and I'm going to stick with it even in this scenario.
All right, look, different strokes, different folks, you know?
And you're just like picking off and looking at me. It's like, real good. Real good batch today.
Buttery.
How did the butter get in there?
I didn't put it in there. You look at my other leg, it's a stick of butter.
The worst operations. Just like medical science has advanced too far, but has not advanced past like idiocy. Like you can ask for anything, but like people are just fucking dumb.
I think more hospitals should let you do dumb things. Actually, no, that's a terrible idea.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm on so many antihistamines.
He's drugged up to the gills.
I've had like 6.
So we're going to start the movie news section of the show today with a pretty big rumour that has been going around this week. Is, I mean, look, it's a weird scenario where when we started this show, the cinematic world was a lot different when we first started. Now, I know it's only our 8th episode, but it was also like 5 years ago.
Yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine. But yeah, things used to be black and white. We didn't have audio in movies. All of these had to be invented.
But I'm going to say something that back then we would have been all over, and that is the fact that Get Out director Jordan Peele recently apparently met with Marvel for an upcoming film to see if he wanted to direct one of their movies.
Interesting. Very interesting. If it's not... do we have a director for Blade already? We do, right?
We did, and I think they've stepped away, but the movie's been rewritten at least 6 times, and I don't think Jordan Peele wants to do a movie that somebody else wrote.
That's very fair. But what would he do? Gotta be horror.
I mean, him doing the Blade movie is like possibly the best. Like, if you're thinking of horror characters in Marvel, I mean, vampires are pretty good.
It's the easiest home run ever. Like, Jordan Peele vampire movie, great. Doesn't even have to, and he doesn't have to connect it to anything. That's the rule. Like,
but I do think that that's probably too late in the game. That movie was meant to come out in like late 2023. Mahershala Ali obviously playing Blade. The movie's been rewritten about 4 times, and they've had 3 directors, I think, and several new writers have come in every single time. So they keep every so often they're like, we're on the right track, and then 6 months later they're like, we've decided to go a different direction.
It's
and we're
fallen
going to do a
to pieces again.
We're going to do a Blade movie where it's more based on the vampires. Everyone's like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, please, I would like that.
I thought you understood that 6 months ago. Why are we here again?
What if... One sec. Excuse me. Oh, I want to die so bad. All of this is staying in. I'm not editing it. I'm sorry. If you're not okay with sneezes, maybe this isn't your episode. What can I say?
I'm going to start just like really loudly coughing. Just blow the worst coughs into the microphone just to kind of balance it out if you want.
Well, you don't need to. My body's going to die if I don't sneeze.
I wouldn't die. Just get over it. Come on now. What are you thinking about Jordan Peele meeting with Marvel?
I think it's interesting. Like, I think there's a... I think they need more, like, hey, directors who have a style and a vision. I think they need that rather than, hey, here's how we can tie in 14 different Disney Plus shows into this next movie. I assume it's going to be vaguely horror-esque. Wouldn't mind seeing a Jordan Peele Ghost Rider, I will say.
Fuck, that's pretty good.
It's pretty Jordan good, Peele, right?
Yeah, you need somebody from that, that darker side of it. You can't do Morbius because Jesus no.
Not a chance.
So Ghost Rider could work.
If he did like the Midnight Suns movie, that would be quite fun.
Look, I think the thing is, we don't really want to box him into horror as well, because I think Jordan Peele could probably do anything he wants. He's a very talented human being. So,
totally.
He could absolutely pull off any genre. We just immediately, I think, look at his previous movies and then kind of like bring that baggage in. But if you gave him any movie, I'm sure he could make it really fucking good and really in-depth if you gave him the time to write it and direct it.
Yeah, and like when I'm saying horror as well, like it's that kind of horror, like the cerebral kind of, like makes you think kind of movie. It'd be interesting if Marvel had one of those, don't you think?
It would be, but they definitely won't. I mean, if you're looking to do I just thought of this, Blade movie, right? No director. Yeah. You have a guy who recently, as far as like 2 years ago, is like, I'd love to do more Marvel movies. Sam Raimi could easily do the Blade movie.
It would be the best version of that, I think.
Like, you could just parachute him in. He's, after doing Doctor Strange, look, that didn't get with much fanfare, but I don't think that was his fault. I mean, the movie itself was like, it was fine. Stylistically, really cool and interesting, because Sam Raimi is a bit of a weirdo and I love him for it. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think he could be really good in like a Blade movie, especially somebody that talented. You can parachute in and be like, just try and save this, please.
Yeah, and also, like, the first Blade movie with Wesley Snipes was so successful that it basically changed public perception and how Blade was portrayed in the comics, because they made him just the coolest dude in the world, and that's kind of what he is now. So I think getting someone like Sam Raimi who could lean into that and, like, just over the top, like, action and cool camera work and fight choreography, like, surely that's another easy decision to make, rather than making it a real dour, grim and gritty, like a Blade Trinity, you know?
I mean, you could do something mad, right, and bring in Jordan Peele to do like Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. That would be
insane.
That would be insane, but also a bit of a laugh. I think that'd be fucking good. I want to see what happens.
Jordan Peele, Agatha Season 2.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'd be on board.
Because it would be so, like, fucked up, like, mentally, like, psychologically, you'd be like, if, like, it's anything like Nope, I mean, just, whoa, boys.
Yeah, which I think he could work with, like, the witchy, magic-y side of Marvel quite well.
If you wanted to do, like, I don't know, he would be good in an X-Men movie. I would like to see him do maybe something to do with X-Men, because they could do some body horror shit as well.
That would be great, actually. Oh, I think I'm sold on that now. I think that's what I want instead.
I think Jordan Peele's a very talented man. Really interesting that this came out and this wasn't like... Not that it's not confirmed, but like the fact that this even link is really being talked about a lot is kind of probably more so not a Jordan Peele, but it's more so where Marvel is at this point. That people are like, oh, Jordan, I mean, just, you can do anything. It's fine.
Yeah, and look, directors meet with companies all the time to talk about projects. It doesn't mean anything is guaranteed. But also, like, Jordan Peele, and the same with, like, Sam Raimi and stuff like that, like, and with even, like, Chloe Zhao when she did Eternals, they don't need Marvel. They're directors anyway. They will have work forever if they want it.
Yeah.
So the only reason they would meet is if they think they could do something cool.
I think that's really... They need to go that direction now a lot more, to just be like, let's just let them do whatever they want to do. I mean, James Gunn is the best equivalent to that you just let him do whatever he wants to do. But then you also have the other side with Taika and the last Thor movie, where the first Thor movie works really well, then you give him full reign, the second movie he doesn't work as well. So
falls apart. It's too
there's
much.
probably a bit of there's a counterbalance there as well you kind of have to find. But like someone like Sam Raimi especially, or Jordan Peele, or I just say Chloe Zhao, just bring them in and just let them do whatever they want.
What if, and this is my last like pitch of like, oh, Jordan Peele doing this character, Jordan Peele the Sentry.
Could you describe what the Sentry is to anyone who doesn't know what you're talking about?
Real powerful superhero, but as powerful as he is, there's a dark version of him that's just as powerful but evil.
It's a psychological
psychological horror, and also he's agoraphobic, so he doesn't like going outside because he's afraid of what he'll do.
Oh,
that's
Jordan
pretty good.
Do some stuff with that, you know what I mean?
Don't call him Jordan. You're not his friend.
With anything. We just like Jordan. He's good. I like how
Mr. Peele.
Good. Like he's not like one of the best directors in the world. He's good.
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah.
He's all right. Sean, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is very exciting. I bring this to you because as two Irish lads, we have got to talk about the fact that there's some the Beatles biopics coming up. And indeed, we have 50% of the crew, right?
50% of the Beatles.
We're 50% of the Beatles because we got the two big ones locked in, because Paul Mescal is down to be Paul McCartney, and Barry Keoghan is now going to be playing Ringo Starr in these 4 movies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they're doing Beatles biopics, but instead of doing one big one, they're doing 4 separate biopics with each member of the Beatles getting their own movie.
Yes. Now, on one hand, they are just casting who's hot in Hollywood at the minute.
True. Yes.
I will also say, casting Barry Keoghan as weird little Ringo Starr might be one of the best decisions that's ever been made. What kind of accent is he going to do? We have no idea.
He could do anything. And Barry and Paul now, we've been talking about them for years, so it's nice to see them now. Obviously, Paul is in Gladiator 2 this year, so with Denzel Washington, and Paul is obviously Oscar nominated, the both of them. So
I don't mean to summon anything into the world, right? Because I don't know how you'll feel about this.
Yeah.
Do you think Paul Mescal could play Nightwing? He wouldn't be a bad pick.
I think he's too old. He's too old. To play not to be mean about the lad.
28, right? He's 29.
Yeah, but I've always had this thing where I think they'll always cast Nightwing way too old. Like, they'll always cast him as a 35-year-old playing 28 for no reason.
But a 21-year-old doesn't look like Nightwing looks. Nightwing looks like he's 30. Like, he's drawn as 30.
Yeah, but then how old is Batman?
33.
No, you have to go like 22 for Nightwing if you're going to do like 35 Batman or whatever.
I know, but you cannot.
Otherwise, you end up with a Titan situation.
That's fair. Brendan Thwaites wasn't too bad, but casting fucking Ian Glenn as Bruce.
Lad, he was like 60.
He was 100 years old.
It made no sense.
He had hung it up at that point, hadn't he? He wasn't Batmaning anymore.
No, he was. He was Batmaning.
Was that all a hallucination or something?
I don't know, but he definitely was.
He was still Batmaning at his age.
Yes. He should have had one of those the chairs that go up the stairs to get him up there. We don't want to be ageist, but I mean, it made no sense. Brendan Thwaites was clearly 23.
It's true, yeah. Because then they introduce younger Robin, who's they introduce Jason Todd in that.
And it's just like, he needs these young people because he can't run, so he just has to get all these people in. That's completely off sidetrack, by the way. But
yeah, sorry, I just thought that today and I wanted...
I think it could work because Paul Mescal's a very talented human being, but it might just be me. I think all the castings for Nightwing, like Dylan O'Brien always comes up in all those castings as well. Yeah. I just think they all go too old. I think you should, especially because if you're going to be doing multiple movies, there's no point in starting with a lad who's already 31.
For 10 years, yeah. Because 41-year-old playing Nightwing is a different story. It
makes no sense by the time you get to the third movie. And I'm already thinking 3 movies in, but you kind of have to build to that. You can't just do Nightwing. He probably has to be in a different movie to kind of build up to that.
You want him as Robin first, and then...
I mean, if you're going to do it, unless you want to just show up with Nightwing and everyone's like, who the fuck is that guy? Because I don't think 80% of the world knows who the fuck Nightwing is. So that's kind of an issue.
Well, it's a secret identity. We're not mentioning it.
No, not like his secret... I mean, the character. People know Batman. People know Robin. And I think at that point, you're kind of losing the room. Unless you explain it.
Then you're into deep pub quiz questions.
Yeah,
but it's like that Beatles song, you know? Hey Jude.
How do you feel about, by the way, the 4 separate movies?
I think I've gone on record as saying I don't care for this. That I'm not interested in seeing it. I'll watch the one where they team up, probably.
Team up?
I assume that'll happen in the Beatles.
On your left. On your left. Wait, they have the fucking team up. I never for a moment had put that together, but the fact that they were doing a fucking Avengers style team up at the end of these 4 fucking biopics is insane.
It doesn't, it's 4 biopics and then one, it's going to be called Paul, George, John and Ringo or whatever. And then the last one is going to be just called Beatles or something. They should
do a thing where he's called Ringo something else, like Ringo Johnson, and at the end of the movie they go, you should really use your real name, Ringo Starr. And you're like, oh shit. I mean, the fact that Sam Mendes is directing all 4 movies and they're calling it the Beatles Cinematic Universe.
Sam Mendes, the artist, the singer.
No.
The man who made 1917, of course.
Yes.
And Skyfall and American Beauty.
The famous director, yes, Sam Mendes, yes.
It could have been the
other one. So, look, Paul Mescal, it's good to see the lads getting work. And I think it's really funny that there's 2 Irish lads playing the fucking Beatles for some reason. I don't know why.
Who are the other 2? Who's playing?
If you were an actor from Liverpool who was maybe 27 and you had a mop of hair, you'd be fuming. You'd be fuming.
You lost to Paul? You lost out to Paul?
You didn't lose to one Irish lad. You lost to 2 of us. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, surely I could have done that role. Logically.
Yeah, who's the actors for the other 2 then?
Harris Dickinson from The Iron Claw will play John Lennon, and Charlie Rowe from Gigi and Nate will be George Harrison.
Right, okay. I don't know Charlie Rowe all that well, but he looks like he could play George Harrison.
I think it's one of those where they're probably just going to put a wig on all of them anyway, so you could play any of them. It's fine.
Fair, yeah. Probably the same wig. They all had very similar hairs.
Just passing around.
But who wants this? Who's? Does anyone really like the Beatles?
What are you talking about? You're a disgrace.
I'm not saying they weren't significant in music, right? But is any
No, I think that's a bit unfair. But I will say, even if you were a massive Beatles fan, you have to go to see 4 movies to see the team up.
Oh, I'm going to go watch the Green Day trilogy.
This is the Billy Joe Armstrong version.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Mike myself.
If Fall Boy did like a Pete Wentz and a Patrick Stubb,
and then Joe Troman and Andy Hurley. Come on, Connor.
Yeah, I know. But I suppose the thing is, it'd be even funnier if they shoot it, but like they're all in the same room. But on Ringo's movie, it's only on Ringo. And then you have to watch all 4 movies to make sense of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, you have to like assemble a little like circle of screens around you. Unless it's like it's what everyone perceives at the time from their perspective.
But they're all on so many drugs.
I know. Like, they're going to make Paul take drugs.
Wild
that a couple of them are still alive as well.
That's pretty insane. And
like I know Rocket
well.
Ringo's great. Ringo's doing the best out of all of them, I would say.
Yeah, fair play to Ringo, to be honest with you, right? But yeah, I think that this is an idea that I think sounds good in practice, but I don't know if it's going to work with the 4 movies back to back to back to back to back.
No, it isn't. But they are going to get to re-release all of the Beatles songs again. And
just make a shit ton of money again. I mean, like, what can you do? Everybody else was getting a biopic. There's no way they weren't getting a biopic. It's just
the biggest band of all time? Yeah, they're probably going to...
They might get one, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on, Sean. Shout out to Paul and Barry. Just got to give them respect. Every time...
Lads,
the
other 2 lads,
fine. But if 2 of ours get into a Beatles movie, then we got to give them a shout. We're moving on, Sean, to our next piece of news. A24. A studio very famous. Did Everything Everywhere All at Once and Moonlight recently.
Yeah. And The Green Knight, which is real good.
And The Green Knight. They're probably about the same level of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Definitely.
It is real good. You got Dev Patel, he plays
It's
a knight.
not as good as Everything Everywhere All at Once, surely.
No, it's real good.
Yeah, I mean, it's excellent, but it's not... Come on, man.
I don't know.
What about, Sean, I know you've been crying out for a dark and gritty reboot of Robin Hood, where Hugh Jackman plays Robin Hood. You were saying to me recently, dark and gritty Robin Hoods work so well. And
really? Oh.
My question to you is, A24, very, very talented studio. They normally only put out bangers. Can they turn around the fact that there hasn't been a good Robin Hood movie for, I don't know, since Men in Tights?
Not by making it dark and gritty, I would say. I think it'd be wild to see, like, let's make a fun and colourful Robin Hood. Wouldn't that be nice?
No, you need it dark and gritty. Like the Taron Egerton had one. Do you remember, like 2018?
Yeah. That was not the worst. It was fine, I guess.
It was. I seen it in the cinema, I remember, and I remember thinking, this is fine.
Here's
it's not
the thing.
Grand.
Yeah.
It's not,
it looked fine. Really cool. Like, looks-wise, it was great. That had Tim Minchin as fucking Friar Tuck, I think, or Little John.
Like, it had a good cast. The script was just not great.
Yeah, it was just it was a poor script, a poor plot. But maybe A24 can do it. What if it's a twist on Robin Hood and he's actually a bastard?
Well, I'm going to tell you now, what they're doing is basically, as far as I can see, the plot of Wolverine, or Logan, sorry, because Hugh Jackman is obviously going to be playing Robin Hood, but the plot is grappling with his past after a life of crime and murder. An aging Robin Hood finds himself gravely injured after a battle he thought he would be his last. In the hands of a mysterious woman, he is offered a chance at salvation.
Jesus. I mean... That's beat for beat Logan, right?
I think they're just doing Logan, yes.
I don't want sad old man Robin Hood, though.
It's going to be one last job, Robin Hood. Just like, you gotta save it, and then the big sacrifice at the end. There's probably going to be a younger person in the team that he's going to sacrifice for. Now you take my mantle, and Robin Hood is an idea. You're not a man, you're an idea.
You know someone is pulling up a green hood at the end of this movie, and then it cuts and the credits are over green. Like, that's what's happening here, right?
It's Robin Hood. Well, I mean, what can you do? So It also has Jodie Comer in it, so like really strong cast.
Yeah.
And I think the Robin Hood name is one that we think of as like, that's a name I recognise. But when you really think about it, there hasn't really been a good one for quite a while.
Men in Tights is good.
Yeah, Men in Tights is the one that I kind of always think of as like, that's the one when I was young. That's the best one.
Is there any word on like directors or anything like that? Or
the director is going to be Michael Sarnowski, who did A Quiet Place day one.
Alright, so that's not come out yet.
No, so not come out yet, but he is down to direct it as well.
Okay. And he's worked on If. Ryan Reynolds' If.
I think him and Krasinski know each other well.
Right, okay, they're friends. Look, maybe. Look, Logan was good.
Just do Logan.
Might just watch Logan again.
Just do Logan all the time. Just always bring back old heroes, make them worn down, and then one last job where they gotta ultimately make the big sacrifice at the end.
Yeah, and look, also that mysterious woman that nursed him back to health, definitely his daughter, right?
It's Jodie Comer, so it might not be his daughter.
Could be. They're far enough apart in age.
Yeah, but Hollywood is weird, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they wouldn't.
See, Hugh Jackman looks any age, so it's.
He looks his age, I would say.
Ah, come on. He's
How old
fantastic.
is he? Like 60?
He's looking fantastic. He doesn't look 60.
How old is he? He's 55. He looks good for 55.
He looks fantastic for 55.
He looks great for 55. But he's 50.
So mean.
He doesn't look like he's 30, like.
No, he doesn't. But like, it could be, like his daughter. That would be like a proper Logan thing if it was his daughter. That'd be really funny. I just think do the exact same plot. Don't even question it. Bring back Stephen Merchant. There
hasn't been an Archer born in years.
Man, we brought out cans of soda that really got rid of all of the Archers. It just got rid of the DNA of Archers.
That was a hell of a plot line, wasn't it?
We're moving on to also A24. It's probably going to be good. They don't really do anything bad, so I mean, what can you do? Chris Hemsworth, he's in talks to lead Transformers and a G.I. Joe crossover movie.
Okay. The Transformers G.I. Joe thing, that's been talked about for a few years now.
Yeah.
I'm glad Chris Hemsworth is getting work. He seems like a nice dude. I would like him to not just do franchise to franchise, you know?
Mad Max was grand. Furiosa, fantastic. Let him just be a dickhead in Furiosa. Why not? But this is one of those weird ones where Transformers and G.I. Joe, I think this is, and it's very hard to explain, but I think people in a suit in a room, they're like, I know what Transformers and G.I. Joe are, so they have brand value, so people will go see them. But I think putting them out in the cinema, I don't think people will actually care. No,
not a chance. I guarantee you they were like, well, Barbie made money, so why don't we just use other toy brands?
Because they tried G.I. Joe a few years ago and it was terrible.
It was really bad. They did Snake Eyes. They tried Transformers, and they're like, Bumblebee was fine, apparently.
Yeah, Bumblebee was pretty decent. That was alright.
But then most of the Transformers movies are just not good.
They're fine. They're absolutely just like they're not for everyone. They make actually quite a lot of money, but they're not for everyone. But they've been losing money consistently, like every time one comes out. So then being like G.I. Joe is the injection of adrenaline that we need in this formation. But
they're losing money in the box office, but they get to keep re-releasing the toys.
Yeah,
which is where they're actually making their money. 'Cause it's just, to be fair, what Transformers and G.I. Joe always were, like as a TV series, was 30-minute long advertisements for toys.
True.
So It makes sense, but it's the most soulless cash grabby thing I've ever heard, and I don't want it.
Getting Hemsworth in, by the way, is probably a great shout on their part. This is Paramount. They must have been in love with it, the fact that they got Hemsworth in. I don't know if he can save this. Maybe it could be good. Maybe it'll probably be fine. It'll probably cost a shit ton of money to make. I'll tell you that for a fact. They're going to put a lot of money behind it. I don't know if it's going to be like as good in terms of movie quality or as it's in terms of revenue as they expect.
No, I genuinely think it's going to lose the money in the actual production, because it's not like they can do it for cheap. Like, it has to look a certain way.
It would be really funny if the lads from G.I. Joe showed up and one of the Autobots just immediately rocketed them to death and just immediately solved the problem.
That would work for me, personally.
Megatron just stands on them.
Just explodes the man to bits.
Just like straight up just gone. Just like, well, that's it for another movie now. We gotta stop Megatron again.
Yeah, how do like the army can't deal with Transformers in the Transformers movies. So what's G.I. Joe gonna fucking do?
They're probably gonna call in G.I. Joe to do it for them.
But what? The man with razors for hands is gonna fucking attack him?
The man with razors for hands. He's gonna razor them to death. The Decepticons.
Right. Or do they set it in? Is there a beat in this movie where we pan out to the real world and it's a kid playing with toys? I
think the Lego movies ruined that. I think that it ruined that.
Yeah, you can't get away with that anymore.
I don't think you can get away with that anymore. So I think in this scenario, this is just, they think that this is going to be good. Chris Hemsworth probably signed on because, I mean, like, Chris is just, he's a hard worker. He'll do fucking anything. And I think he wants to just do not Marvel movies. So he's like, let's do anything.
And he's done Extraction. So, like, he's kind of good on army stuff. So it's easy for him. It's probably one for his kids.
And look, I think it'll be absolutely fine. It's one of those where I won't probably watch it, but it's fine.
I'm not going to the cinema to see this.
No, I'm not spending like fucking 60 quid for like a day out to go to the cinema.
To see G.I. Joe versus Transformers.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay, so we're finishing off the movie news segment of the show with some more Marvel director talk, because we started off the episode with Jordan Peele. And we're going to end the episode with the next Avengers movie and the director for that, because Shaun Levy is being eyed to direct the next Avengers movie. Now, he is currently working on the post-production of his movie Deadpool and Wolverine, so they've got him in to do that. But he's also developing a Star Wars movie at the same time, so Disney have him kind of involved in a lot of things at the minute, and he is being eyed to direct Avengers 5 to come along.
You know I'm on board already because Shaun Levy directed Real Steel. So we're on board, folks.
I would say that work against him. That might work against him now.
My question is, how does this impact Real Steel 2?
That is the question that everyone was thinking. They were like, Avengers 5, meh. Real Steel 2 from 2010. We need the sequel, they thought.
I'm just saying. Like,
and you said that during the Robin Hood news. You were like, well, how does this affect Hugh Jackman's schedule with Real Steel 2?
For Real Steel 2,
yeah, because he's got to go back into that ring.
He's got to... No, well, he wouldn't be in the ring. The robots are in the ring, you see.
If I haven't seen Real Steel, it's fine. Shaun loves it, but it's fine.
It's better. You watched it and you were like, this is actually surprisingly all right.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be bad. So when it wasn't bad, I was like, that's good. My friend likes this movie, so I'm not going to be mean.
Friend?
Yeah, like my other friend. My friend John really loves it.
I'd like to meet John. I think we'd get on well.
No, you wouldn't like him. He doesn't like you. So Shaun, I mean, Avengers 5.
Yeah.
This is one of those where I would actually probably say they should maybe let Sam Raimi do that, or Jordan Peele could be cool as Avengers 5, but I don't think they'll do either of that. I think Shaun Levy's like the safe bet. Yeah,
because Avengers 5 was originally Kang Dynasty as well, which I think that's not
happening no more.
But so, do you think? So, and then the one after that is Secret Wars.
Yes.
Right, where presumably everything's getting reset.
Yeah, so at this point you just kind of get... And I don't think there's probably that much fanfare for it.
No, I don't think so.
So, I mean, you kind of get a free hit here. You can kind of just bring it out and it'll be fine.
You can just make an Avengers movie. And then we can finally find out who's in the Avengers now.
Just because we don't know. It could be anybody.
And look, Captain America, new Captain America world, doesn't look great, I'll be honest. They're still in reshoots.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of reshoots in that movie. It's fine. It'll be... And did you see they cast Giancarlo Esposito?
Yes, as someone we don't know, but it's probably...
a monologuing villain.
A monologuing, serious... cold villain the whole time.
Like, someone just cast him in a happy role. Why does he always play the same role?
I'd love him to be a happy man. That'd be great.
Just, he deserves happiness, I think, on screen. I don't think it's right that he always has to play the same guy. This is one of those where, like, I think a few years ago, by the way, like, this is what I was kind of talking about at the start. The news of an Avengers director being like, how did would have been massive.
Huge.
Yeah. And like now it's like one of those where Sean Levy could direct Avengers 5 and everyone's like, okay,
fine, I guess.
see what happens.
We haven't even talked, like, he is doing Deadpool and Wolverine as well. Like, we don't
know if that's good or not, but so we can't comment either way.
But like 5 years ago when we did episode 1 of this show, we would have been like, oh, and then does that mean Deadpool and Wolverine is connected to Avengers 5 and all this? Is that, like, we would have been excited just about concepts. But now it's like, let's just wait and see if it's good first.
I think the bridge has been burned quite a lot. Michael Waldron is still writing it, so he's kind of given the script. So Waldron is the writer of also Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. So the script is basically done. They just need somebody to come in and direct the movie. So it's one of those where they're just kind of shopping it around to see. The fact that he's doing a Star Wars movie as well, I think he's very involved in the Disney process. So they're like,
and they clearly like working with him.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't seem like a dick. So I mean, that's always step one in any sort of job. Just be nice to everyone.
Great thing in Hollywood is to not be a dick.
Don't be a dick. It kind of pushes back the Star Wars movie, but at this point I don't think anyone is expecting a Star Wars movie for a few years, so you're absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think I don't think he's a bad shout, you know? I think he understands the world. He's worked with them enough. But again, I can't call these movies anymore. I don't know what's going to be good and what's going to be terrible.
He also did Date Night, by the way.
Date Night's real good.
It's really good. So
also all the Night at the Museums and some of Stranger Things.
Yeah. So like he's a very talented man. It's a really weird thing where like there's this really talented person who wants to do Avengers 5 and we're like, I don't know. Why does he want to do it?
I'm not putting the house on it, you know?
Yeah, why does he want to get involved? It probably says more about him. I'd stay away. Maybe just go do something else. Do Real Steel 2. Real Steel
2. Sean, do Real Steel 2. It's probably why he was chosen for Deadpool and Wolverine, because he's worked with Hugh Jackman so much.
I think it was mostly because he did the Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds a few years ago on Netflix, and they probably carried it over.
But... well, I suppose. Yeah, that could be the reason. Or
I don't think that's the reason. I think really it's Real Steel from 2010 that carried him over the line.
2011, but okay.
Was it 2011, was it?
2011, yeah.
Sorry. Just it's just ahead of its time, really.
He's the people's champion.
So Sean, that's the end of the movie news segment of the show. That means it's time for our weird news jingle. Put in the jingle. Wow, what a jingle. Every week, never fails, never forgets.
That's my 9/11, to be honest, is that jingle. Can I say that? Should I cut that one out? I won't edit out all the sneezes, but I'll edit out that if you want me to.
Don't edit out the sneezes, but edit out the rest of the episode, so it's only a collection of sneezes.
I've only done one so far, which isn't too bad.
That's actually, I'm very proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Sean, weird news. What do we do here?
You spent the week gathering all of the weirdest news stories from around the world. You're about to read them all out to me, a man who has been too busy just eating antihistamines like cereal to look at any weird news.
Yeah. Well, Shaun, I wanted to start off with a pretty insane story that I found last week, and we didn't get in time to get to it, so I wanted to touch on it this week. And this is a bit of a wildlife documentary that is really caught my eye because it comes from a guy called Paul Róisín, and he sees snakes as his pets, just kind of sort of his pets.
Many people do. Okay.
Yeah, and he's dedicated everything to protecting the creatures, their habitats and essential ecosystems in the Amazon. So, nice guy. He spent time in Indonesia, Brazil, India, Peru, and he basically reckoned recently that people needed to see something which would give them a shock to actually stir up support to further mission to save the rainforest. So naturally, he volunteered to get eaten alive by a green anaconda.
What the fuck, Connor?
Man volunteers to get eaten alive by green anaconda to raise support.
Who's allowing this?
Now, this is from 2014, right? But the story, I only found out about it this week, right? But this guy did this back then, way before we even did the show. He embarked on a daring mission that saw him offer himself up for dinner to the largest and heaviest snake in the world, which doubled as a massive fundraiser to protect the rainforest.
Right. How did he know he wouldn't fucking die?
Well, they're his pals. You know what I mean? It was even featured in an episode on the Discovery Channel, right? And showed the 38-year-old spent weeks trying to track down a green anaconda with his 10 strong team. Luckily, they found the perfect green anaconda, Shaun, a 20-foot long, 18 stone snake.
What the fuck?
In the Peruvian Amazon.
So it's like, it's not even like a tame snake. Like, this isn't a trick. There's just a wild snake he's going to let eat him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he dons a carbon fibre suit for the bizarre experiment, which had been custom made by a team of engineers using 3D technology to ensure he wouldn't get crushed immediately by the snake. Not immediately. Over several grueling hours. It was streamlined so it would not irritate in the animal's insides and was strong enough to survive its digestive fluids too. The animal lover then slathered pig's blood on him to make sure his journey into the snake's gob went as smoothly as possible. So far, so good. Okay. There's a team of people around this man just watching this happen. And nobody said this is a bad idea. Nobody said, hey, maybe we don't fucking do this. His specialist suit was also rigged out with a radio mic and built-in cameras so his team could communicate with him about what was going on at all times. He also sported a face mask which was connected to a crush-proof hose that trailed behind him, which was attached to a 3-hour oxygen supply, just in case he did get completely eaten. What happens? What if he just gets fucking eaten? Like, you can't just kill the snake to get him out. So he approached the anaconda on all fours, so then the day came, Shaun, and he's like, right, it's go time. We're decked out, I've got my camera, I've got my little hose, I've got my carbon fibre 3D printed suit, and I'm going to prove that these snakes need to be protected by letting it eat me. So, he approaches the anaconda on all fours in a bid to fool the snake into thinking he was a wild boar, and it only took a matter of seconds before the female anaconda had her victim exactly where she wanted him. It latched onto his head and began constricting his arms and body by wrapping itself around him. Terrifying. Like, that's a nightmare. Yeah. I hate this. I'm getting coils all over me, he told his team at the time. She's got my arms pinned. She knows there's nothing I can do, he says. He's weirdly positive about all of this. He was then heard saying, oh God,
but reassured his colleagues that he was okay, even though his heart rate had shot up pretty high and his breathing had become really laboured.
Like, somewhere in our brains, that used to be like we learned to avoid getting eaten by snakes. Yeah, and he's just going against all of that fucking...
He's lying still.
Like, he's just letting it... What the fuck?
He just said he was trying to stay calm as the green anaconda began to tighten her grip around his body as he wriggled on the floor, later admitting that he is the type who'll say, I'm fine, until I'm dead.
Yeah, until the oxygen runs out and he suffocates inside of a snake.
He didn't respond when another colleague checked in with him before the snake then latched onto his head. Róisín then screamed to his pals, stand by guys, I'm starting to feel like she's consuming me guys. My face is down.
Gee. So he didn't even let it eat him the whole way.
Yeah, what a fucking bitch. Actually,
yeah, what a coward.
What a coward. He then, as he was being eaten, said, I need help.
Please, I really regret this immediately.
The team immediately rushed over and wrestled the snake off of him. Despite only part of it, despite his head already being consumed, he got out of there.
Head's just like cut off him when he comes out. It's the snake now.
Speaking of his attempt to get eaten alive afterwards, he said, the last thing I remember was her mouth wide open and then everything went black. I went limp and let it constrict. All the while I was thinking, eat, eat, eat.
I mean, he only has himself to blame, to be honest. The snake was not hunting him.
I mean, the reason this is in weird news is I've never seen someone go so far to prove a point, to try and raise money for some sort of, like, I mean, support the rainforest. Pretty good idea. Support the Amazon. Pretty good idea. But to be like, this will definitely get people to pay me. I mean, he says that his arms were being ripped out of his sockets and he felt his suit cracking under the snake's pressure.
That's got to be the biggest. Like, you would wake up hearing that. Like, carbon fibre breaking on you.
He feared that the snake was going to snap his arm as her force was fully on his exposed arm, which is why he decided to tap out of the experiment, because he thought she was going to break his arm.
How do you not see any of this happening? Surely he knows what snakes are like.
The question really is, how much do you have to trust the lads that did the 3D printing of the suit that you were going to wear? Because, like, that's a lot of trust to be like, oh yeah, it'll protect you, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like, it'll hold up. Like, just as they're just essentially taping boards of plywood to you to help you out.
And I think this might be my favourite. There's like guy who just, there was no reason for him to do it. He's just like, yeah, this will be funny and also raise awareness.
This feels like 2002 level of like publicity stunt. 2014, we kind of knew what was going on. You know, we were read up on a lot of information.
I don't need you to tell me that snakes will fuck you up. Because I know if I wet a 20-foot long, 18-stone snake, I'd be like, you know what? Probably gonna fuck me up if it came to a fight.
I'm not gonna cover myself in blood and crawl around in front of that.
I think I would rather run away as fast as possible.
That dude's like primitive ancestors are looking down on him, being like, you fucking idiot.
See, now is the question, is he the biggest, bravest legend that we've ever had, or the craziest person, or the dumbest?
He's just, I think he's an idiot. Like, he's just fucking doing stuff. You know, there's no rhyme or reason. How do you
explain that to your parents about what you're about to do?
See, I think he really wanted to be eaten by a snake and had to find a way to justify it.
But then why bring the team? Because he's like, oh, they'll get me out. Which also begs the next question. You know, in that moment he's like, oh, I'm tapping out. Like, come in and help me. How the fuck are they going to help you? The snake has you wrapped up and is eating your head.
Like, how do you get a snake to stop eating someone?
Stop.
No
there,
one's ever had to.
Stop.
Here, give it a rest.
I give it a rest there now, lads. Come on.
They ring a bell 3 times and the snake starts celebrating.
There's like a horn.
Yeah.
And the snake just head pops up. It's like, oh, fuck the snake horn.
Got a submission. What's the natural predator of the anaconda, do you think? We like to
the 20-foot, 18-stone anaconda. Probably not that much.
Green. It's not an apex predator, though.
A 20-foot anaconda would be pretty apex to me.
Being anaconda, natural predator. Very few natural predators.
There you go.
The greatest threat is man.
Well, not here.
What it says. One of its greatest threats is habitat loss, actually.
So what you're saying is they just chop down the trees, which completely disproves the point they're trying to make.
Yeah. It's the only way.
So someone just walks in with a match and just starts setting fire to the rainforest.
Starts throwing gasoline on the bushes.
Don't make me set fire to this snake and let go of my friend's head.
Apparently they are at the top of the food chain. That's wild.
Yeah. They're fucking anacondas, man.
They're big though, aren't they?
Yeah, but they can kill a bear. Easy.
You think an anaconda could kill a bear?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a bear might have it.
No, because even if the bear is hitting, like the anaconda just needs to wrap and then it's game over.
Bear's got claws. Start slashing
sure, he can claw away, but he's going to get crushed. Like,
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the bear has it somehow.
He could claw away, but they just wrap around his head and just crush his skull, and the bear is dead.
How fast can an anaconda coil, do you think? Pretty quick, I'd imagine.
I would say pretty quick in a fight. Yeah, if you rile them up.
What's this website I'm on? Carnivora. What's this? Oh, it's just a forum. Apparently the bear, this person from, this is only 2022 as well, who describes himself in their profile as an apex predator. The bear would win on land. Its jaws and claws can kill the anaconda. Now that's just what one random pleb on a message board
So how
thinks.
are we to trust apex predator? I mean, you know what I mean? What does he know? And it's definitely a guy.
It's definitely a guy.
Yeah. Like,
his name is... he's also got lightning as like his little tagline as well. It's from London. Last active August 2023.
He got eaten by a snake.
It's got 18,000 posts on this website.
I mean, that seems like too many. In terms of posts, that's just too many.
That's 6.73% of all posts on the website.
I just feel like it's too many.
It's too many. It is too many.
Do you think it's his website?
Could be. And he's just really involved in it.
There's no way you do 18,000 posts for anything.
This is just people talking about animals, this website.
But like, who would win the fight between a snake and a bear?
I think so. They have like fantasy animal face-offs of like who would win. What is this?
This is great. Who wins?
Galactus versus Unicron.
I feel like that's nothing to do with animals. That's mostly just comic books.
Mr. Mixes Pitlick versus Franklin Richards.
Okay.
Yeah, these are just fantasy ones. Like, they're not animals.
Who wins in a fight, Franklin Richards or a big snake?
Oh, big snake.
Big snake crushes that little child all day.
That's the thing. Franklin Richards is a child. He's going to get
He's a child. The snake's going to crush him to death.
A lot of these are about Jujutsu Kaisen as well, which I'm not read up upon.
Who wins in a fight, Godzilla or a 400-foot anaconda?
Which Godzilla?
Godzilla -1 Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla -1 Godzilla takes it. Have you seen it? He's a monster.
What about 500-foot anaconda?
Where's it taking place?
Amazon.
Amazon. You're in the...
Yeah.
I think Godzilla.
As if it would have
You're essentially asking which would win, an animal or a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I think the
what
nuclear bomb.
If the anaconda was nuclear resistant?
Then I think the anaconda might have it.
Crush him to death. Crush him to death.
No,
even
bully
if the
him.
anaconda wins, I think he's coming out with some sort of cancer.
He's not walking away from this. Like,
oh no, he's not. Well, no snake walks away from any fight, really. When you think about it, but like, he's not coming away from the fight. No, he's not 100%.
No, he's got years of treatment ahead of him. Like
he's got years of treatment. Were you fighting Godzilla again? Because you need to go for an MRI.
Yeah, because you're glowing.
You're basically green. Yeah, I just wanted to cover that because I was like, that story is so insane that Shaun needs to know about it. Hero or zero is really the question.
The anaconda.
No, the guy.
The guy, zero.
Big
zero.
there's got to be some sort of extra points for just being that crazy to be like, yeah, I'll cover myself in pig's blood to prove a point.
I don't think no, because that's not. There's nothing justifiable about that. There's no reason for this to happen.
And you've interrupted the snake's day. Maybe you had something on.
Yeah, that snake was on its way to a snake birthday party
for Godzilla.
His son had a piano recital. Playing green sleeves.
So Shaun, he was going to a meeting for his next video game. They're trying to bring it back for a new audience. Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this is one of those news stories, right, that I read, and then I thought I shouldn't know about this. And if this happened to me or you, we also wouldn't know about this because you would keep quiet. Shaun, couple finds safe stuffed with $100,000 cash while fishing in New York.
Never tell anyone.
Should anyone on this planet know that you found the safe with $100,000 in it?
You've signed your own death warrant at that point. This is No Country for Old Men is what's happening here.
You know I'm walking away whistling. You know that.
I'm walking away whistling. I'm spending it in small bills in cash.
Anybody who asks says, "Oh, what did you go up at the weekend?" Nothing much. No, nothing at all. Nothing happened. Completely normal weekend. Walk. Yeah.
How? Why would you announce this? That's mob money.
A New York City couple who were magnet fishing in a lake caught more than they had bargained for when they pulled out a safe that had $100,000 cash inside. James Cade and Barbie Agostini tossed a line with a strong magnet attached to the end into a lake in Queens last week on Friday afternoon. The couple managed to open the safe and found the cash, bundles of $100 bills with an estimated value of $100,000. Sorry, $100 bills, $100,000. So, a lot of bills. Though the money may have been damaged by the water, it was still in the safe.
Damn. Someone wants that money.
In an interview, James Cade explained that they began magnet fishing during the COVID. What does that have to do with anything? James is just relaying why they got into magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing is like one of the trashiest things I can think of, by the way.
They go through during the COVID-19 pandemic, due to the allure of treasure hunting, Shaun. You didn't notice. James said that they didn't have to spend a lot of money on equipment and they could go magnet fishing together as a couple. And I think that's lovely, just as a hobby that you can kind of do together.
Yeah, but like in Ireland, you would just pull up like rusty shopping trolleys and bicycle frames.
Yeah. Magnet fishing simply involves putting a rope with a straw. I mean, you don't need to explain the concept of magnet fishing to anybody. Magnet fishing,
it's like the word toothbrush in that it perfectly describes what it is without any further explanation. I know what
fishing is, right? You get a big line with a rope. And I'm going to assume magnet fishing is we put a magnet on the end of that rope and put it in some water.
Just see what happens.
I
saw a guy magnet fishing on TikTok once and he pulled up a grenade. And I'm like,
I have a question. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's weird, but I was going to say, are grenades made of metal?
Yeah.
But then I was like, yeah, they are. But then in my head, the only concept I have of a grenade is like the toy ones. Yeah, when you were younger, they were plastic.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There used to be an airsoft range near us. And for birthdays and stuff, we'd go to the airsoft range.
Oh, you definitely got shot so many times.
You weren't allowed to shoot each other. It was all targets. And a fucking crack shot, let me tell you. But they had, and we were never allowed to use it because we were inside and it would have been suicide. But they had a grenade that you just fill with BBs and you just fucking throw that and it explodes.
What?
And peppers everyone with BBs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so one day at my wedding, I'm going to throw one of those. And we're going to see what happens.
But what we'll do is me and you will walk out, we'll be outside and we'll just throw them in through the doors and then close the doors.
Close them, yeah.
And then board them up. It'd be some laugh, won't it? It'd be a laugh.
We like light cigarettes and we just stand there for a while.
Do you know where the Shaun Mead wedding is? Back the way you fucking came, right? There's something going on there. Fuck off.
In a town down the road called None of Your Business.
No one expected a safe to be on the end of the line though, let alone one stuffed with cash. We pulled it out and it was 2 stacks of freaking hundreds, he said. The couple said that they contacted the New York Police Department about the find and said that they were told there was no crime attached to the cash and there was no way to identify the original owner of the safe, meaning that they were allowed to keep it.
So finders keepers did apply in this case.
The finders keepers applies if there's no crime associated with it and nobody had said that their safe was stolen.
Well, no one, no, because that's not stolen. That's illegal money that was stolen.
Can I make the
so
point that maybe the person didn't report their safe stolen because they were also in the lake beside the safe, but they weren't wearing metal?
That's also possible. But let's not bother to check. No.
No. Finders keepers.
Do these people have a social media presence for their magnet fishing? Or is it just a hobby?
I think it's just a hobby.
Okay. Because otherwise I was like, maybe this is a promotion for their
They said their previous finds, by the way, included old goods, which in America I suppose is
terrifying.
Obviously. In here you would never find one gun, but old goods, Second World War grenades, a full-sized motorcycle, foreign coins and jewellery.
How strong is this magnet?
In my head, it's like the one on the end of like a crane. It's fucking gigantic.
Yeah, it's the one that drops the cars into the fucking crusher, apparently.
How do you pick up a motorcycle with the magnet that's on the end of a fishing rod?
Even a safe, I'd wager, is fairly heavy.
Yeah, unless, how many magnets do you have on it at once? You need at least, 5.
Do you think there's a magnet fishing supply, or do you have to, is there a professional version of a magnet fisher?
I don't know. I didn't even know magnet fishing existed until about 10 minutes ago. So
right.
I cannot confirm nor deny what the concept is, but they said it was cheap to start. That's the reason why they got into it.
It is. I can get you a magnet, Connor. Right. Oh,
yeah.
no, this one's unavailable. Hang on, let me find another one. About 60 quid.
Yeah, but how big is it?
It's
He's going to go again. There we go.
It's a three.
That's a triple.
Oh, I'm allergic to great deals.
The door knocked and it was just a fucking tulip outside.
Oh, I want to kill myself. This one, it's about 90 millimeters, can lift 400 kilos. Oh, God. I'm in such pain and uncomfortness.
Oh, I just like seeing them uncomfortable.
What if we just did 2 weird news stories this week, folks?
I think we should do extra long episodes.
Oh, no!
Let's talk about flowers. So how big is it? What did you say?
About 90 millimeters, but it can lift 400 kilos.
400 kilos?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's pretty good, right?
That's a lot of kilos. But how can I lift 400? Because it can attach itself to 400. But how am I reading in that fucking line?
You could make a rudimentary pulley system over the edge of a bridge, perhaps, and that would spread the load differently than you lifting it straight. You're not deadlifting it.
No, that's what I was thinking. I just know. Even when you got the safe out, how are you deadlifting it into the fucking... If you're in a boat...
Yeah. The apparently someone fished out a sawn-off shotgun one time. That's terrifying.
What would be the worst thing to get? I mean, the best thing is obviously the safe.
Yeah, that's like a safe full of gold coins.
Yeah, worst is perfect. Maybe a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, a bomb would be, like a live active bomb. Pretty bad, I would say.
Pretty bad.
You could. What if it was like a pacemaker, but from the dude behind you, like you were casting, and then.
No, I mean, it's something that I never considered. But imagine you pick up a whole motorcycle. You're like, this is a great day out. We've got our own motorcycle now. A Ducati 500. Yes.
Yeah. But this canoe is. Really,
how are we going to get it back is the problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But Sean, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and it was one of those where I seen this and it's one of those crimes that I can't quite really get around, because I have man was caught after a string of gas station and supermarket thefts, his most remarkable prize being 17 boxes of Pringles.
What flavour?
It's not said, but I'm going to say maybe sour cream.
It's a pretty good flavour. That's my default flavour, I'll be honest. I do like the salt and vinegar. I think
everyone's default flavour is the green one.
Some people really hate it, though, is the thing.
I'm a barbecue man myself.
You're a barbecue man?
I'm barbecue man myself when it comes to the Pringles. Yeah, I'll go barbecue first. If there's no barbecue, I'll go green. I
don't mind the barbecue ones. It's just it wouldn't be my first choice ever, you see. I like the sour cream with like a dip. Like a chive dip was nice.
You're kind of working. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm layering flavour.
I don't like the red or the blue. I'm not that big on them.
The red I don't know why you would bother with. The blue are fantastic. The salt and vinegar Pringles. Salt and vinegar anything is the best crisp. I
used to be really into salt and vinegar, and it was weird. The last few years I've like, I don't pick it. Like if I'm picking some sort of like crisps or whatever, I'm like, nah, I don't really want salt and vinegar. I don't know why.
I've got heavy bike into salt and vinegar in recent years. Like,
maybe I'm just slightly older. You'll grow out of it. Maybe there's a weird thing. I'm not quite sure.
I think I just need to penetrate through all the pollen that's in my system.
That's the thing. The salt and the vinegar kind of works its way through the pollen, yeah.
Yeah, it sterilises things.
By the way, the headline for this is pretty good because it just says, once you pop, you can't stop stealing.
Not the cleverest. That's just their slogan with the word stealing, but fine.
Authorities say Adam Spencer started stealing on April 11th at a Tesco before moving on to a nearby Asda 6 days later. Spencer went on to break into a grocery store called Iceland. This is written by an American for sure.
Yeah.
A grocery store called Iceland. He's not breaking into the country of Iceland. Okay, let's just be clear.
Be hard to break into. It is an island.
True. To steal meats and 300 of other goods on May the 2nd. He would then return to the same store 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks after that, only last week did he stop. During one of these Iceland hauls, Spencer would apparently steal 17 tubes of Pringles in a single trip. When authorities questioned him about it later, Spencer simply defended himself with, "Once you pop, you can't stop." He said it to them.
God damn. This man's hardcore.
I mean, if you were to steal from any supermarket, I feel like Iceland would be the worst one to steal with, in that everything there is frozen.
Yeah, their whole gimmick is that it's all frozen foods. So you're in and out quite quick with Iceland.
Yeah.
Just in terms of things to steal as well, tubes of Pringles are some of the most unwieldy packages to try and transport. You know, you're not shoving them down your trousers or anything like that.
Well, no, and he was fleeing the crimes via bicycle.
Again, this man, he confuses
unless he has like a little basket at the front. Like, how is he holding
with 17 tubes of Pringles?
Like, one of them is slipping. Like, if you have like 7 of them under your arm, you just need the bottom one to slip, and then they'll all like slip out, and you have that like awkward moment.
You can't nestle them properly because they're cylinders. Like,
yeah, you're running after a rolling tube of Pringles at that point.
And you can't stop it because it's pop. No, I can't.
It does pop, but you can't stop.
There's a very funny comedian I like. His name was Mitch Hedberg, and he has a joke that he thinks that Pringles originally meant to make tennis balls, but then a bunch of potatoes showed up and they just said, "Fuck it, we'll do it anyway."
I think it's one of those where, like, yeah, the tube, you could actually swap them out. They're perfectly the same size and shape for tennis balls and Pringles.
Yeah.
It's just... Are Pringles the best? I'm going to say crisp, but I mean chip for our American listeners. Shaun?
It's very good. It's a very interesting question you've raised there, Conor.
Because I know you love crisp talk.
I do love crisp talk. It is 90% of my conversations with people. I think they're one of the best party or event chips, I would say.
Yeah.
The resealable, very valuable in that kind of situation, you know? You can also throw them into a bowl if you want them to be fancy.
Yeah, but you're not going to throw Pringles into a bowl because then somebody else is going to eat them. And I don't want somebody else to eat them. I want me to eat them.
I'll do a tube of Pringles. Like, I'll knock that out.
You'd run through them. The problem is you always have to stop yourself. I'm always like that. I'm like, if this stays in my vicinity, it's gone. So
Something's gonna
we need to go like halfway down and then put it in the fucking cupboard and we'll be like, we'll go tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Because, look, they do reseal. There's a narrow window where they're still good, though. The air does get in.
That reseal isn't resealed at all.
If you leave the little paper bit on top and then seal it, then it lasts maybe a little longer. But who's doing that, let's be honest.
Come on.
I like a Dorito at a party. I think they're pretty good.
Pretty good. Doritos pretty good, yeah.
I'll do any flavour of Dorito, I don't mind.
Went to Aldi last week because we were like hosting, and I was like, we should just get like a big packet of fucking 16, like, you know those packets of 16, the cheap ones from Aldi?
Yeah, the multi-pack, yeah.
Something to have there. And they came with bacon fries, onion rings, and Cheez-Its or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good triple pack, to be fair.
Yeah,
and I was like,
nice variety.
When I got it, and I was like, onion rings are a fucking solid party crisp.
Onion rings slap. They're class.
In a party environment, everyone was hounding. They were gone. And then the bacon fries and the Cheez-Its were left. And I was like, they're pretty good. But onion rings were like, yeah, everyone wants them.
Onion, because there's an interesting flavour to them. There's a nice bite, you know. And you feel good even if you have 2 or 3. You say, I got a lot there. I got a lot for my money.
For Americans, what we would recommend is maybe try Monster Munch.
Monster Munch are great. Space Invaders,
strong, very strong.
Banshee Bones, they're my favourite crisp
Banshee
of all
Bones
time.
are everyone's favourite, but nobody ever says it out loud because they've stopped selling them the rest of the year.
They only sell them at Halloween now. One year for Christmas, my mum gave me a 24 pack of Banshee Bones, and I had them in December, and I was the happiest boy.
They had to stop selling them because they were ruining every other crisp.
Stocks in other crisps fucking plummeted.
Banshee Bones, I'm telling you. People who have never tried a Banshee Bone, buy like a packet of 3 on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't care what it costs.
Just even if it's like a 5 or a 10, it probably won't be that much. Get like a small packet. You'll hound into them. I'm telling you, it'll be your new favourite thing.
They're just they'll cut the tongue off you. They're so sharp. They're fucking great.
I love that there's subjects that like me and you were like, this is our fucking niche. This is what we're
I like how we were glossing over like, it'll probably be a good Marvel movie, but then Crisps comes up.
Crisps came out, and I'm fucking all in, lad. I am all in.
Fully committed.
We're finishing off this week with Florida Man because wanted Florida man found with drugs after getting lost in the woods and calling deputies for help.
I mean, at that point, was he lost in the woods or was he just like slightly in the woods?
The relief a Florida man may have recently felt when he was found after getting lost in the woods was likely a short-lived one after his rescuers said he not only had drugs on him, but there was also a warrant out for his arrest at the time that they found him.
Oh! Made their job really easy.
Really easy. This is James Robert Lombardi. He called for help on Saturday morning because he was lost in a wooded area between the Branford Greenway Trail and the Suwannee River.
I know where it is now. Thank you very much for that detail.
A lovely river and a lovely trail. But the Patrol Division Deputy Cleve Willis, what a name, along with the Lafayette County Sheriff's Office and the Florida Bush and Wildlife Conservation Commission went to the woods and began searching for him. They found him within an hour and brought him back to the Ivy Park boat ramps. Though Lombardi was excited to be found, his joy did not last long because the law enforcement officers who located him told him that he had an active warrant for violation of probation, which I think is a great warrant to have.
The warrant is that you fucked up again, basically.
Yeah. While searching him before taking him to jail, authorities then said they found a small amount of marijuana, a smoking pipe, and several burnt marijuana cigarettes in a case in the pocket of his shorts.
That doesn't mean anything, officer.
I found them. Lombardi also had a cooler with him. A cooler.
He brought a cooler into the woods.
He's lost in the woods and he's like, I'm getting so tired, but I can't stop dragging this cooler. Otherwise, I'll be dead.
What if I want a nice cold can of DC?
He has various drinks and a metal box containing his phone. Inside the phone case was a glass smoking pipe and a glass vial containing meth. Again, Shaun,
doesn't prove anything.
The question here is, if you were lost and then you call the police and they're like, we're on the way, we're going to come find you. Why, in any fucking world, would you not drop the drugs somewhere in the woods and then maybe say, you've never seen those drugs, you arrived and got lost?
Yeah. No, you or like bury the cooler somewhere you'll remember it.
Yeah.
Go back and get it another time. Get it later.
They'll have no proof that it was your cooler. Nobody's seen you enter the woods with the cooler.
No, you're lost. You had to call them.
So you could just turn up. The fact that he had drugs in his fucking pocket when they arrived, I mean, that is ridiculous.
Of course they're going to, because also they know you. You know them. You're a criminal.
Yeah,
like,
you know that you've done crimes. And you're like, oh.
Give yourself every chance when they find you and then be like, okay, I'm sorry. And then go about your business. They'll probably let you off a little easier because you don't actively have drugs on you.
I mean, I just think Florida man, that's a classic Florida man to be like, oh, fuck, they've come to help me. Well, no point to getting any of the illegal stuff away from me. I'm going to carry that until they come around. Because obviously they're not going to search me. They're just going to be happy to see me.
What if they turn up and they're cool?
What if they want something from my cooler? I need a nice cool drink. Florida man, he never ceases to amaze. Just he's been charged with go on.
He never learns, is what I was going to say.
I mean, it's the simplest thing ever of just, if you were lost, you're like, well, I can't ring the police because I have all these drugs on me. But then when you get to the moment where you're like, okay, I will ring the police because I need help, surely that's the moment where you think, well, I'll get rid of the drugs before they arrive.
Yeah,
because
I'll just put these drugs down somewhere else.
Because they're normally not too chill when it comes to the old drugs or the police.
Especially they want to arrest me anyway. So.
I've also did that other crime that I'm also on the run for.
Broke the old probation.
He's been charged with violation of probation, possession of meth, possession of 20 grams of cannabis and possession of drug paraphernalia. Fantastic.
What a world, man.
You called to them to come find you and you still got caught.
You had prep time. You could have called whenever you wanted. You could have called anyone else as well.
Anyone. You could have hid the drugs anywhere and then called them.
And yeah, like you could have called a friend to come get you.
So Shaun, that's it for this week's episode, I think.
What a week, Conor. Would you like me to take us out?
If you can get through without sneezing to death, yes.
We'll do our best. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Heroes for Hire podcast. We will be back on Friday with Hero or Zero and next Monday with another episode of the show. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. And shout outs go to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Joe Burney, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer Enthusiast, Evanson, Waffles Loves You and hopes you have a good day, David Clarke, Shaun Chuck in the wash and it'll be grand, Jamieson, Dominic, Anna, looking forward to the next Irish animal story, Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Frost, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine are certain you could kill someone with a compass, just aim for the carotid artery. Russ, I'm convinced Shaun drowned so often when he was younger as the landlubber was trying to live his pirate dreams-Parfitt. Jackson Brueheim has released a new episode of Can Columbo Crack the Case. Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon. Ciara Lawler, Judge Lahey, The Amazing World of Keza, Mikey, Chair's number one fan, Chair, Kyle Borowski, Rory, Shaun subbed to the Patreon after 10 creamy pints, Pete wants to hear Shaun say the chemical compound phenolphthalein, and Jack Markham. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. And thank you for putting up the sneezes all of this episode as well. I do appreciate that. But there is other ways to support. There is a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is @heroesforhirepod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.